A huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 5 of our All the Mods 6 to the Sky playthrough. So in today's episode, I'm hoping to start branching out into different mods. I've done a bit of work between episodes, as you can tell. I have this huge platform now around me. And I think it's time to break out of the starter mods and focus on something different, and my goal for today is to start on Mekanism. So let's get started. Okay, a few things I've done between episodes. I've increased the amount of crucibles that we had because lava was becoming a little bit of a backlog. I've also increased the amount of power cells just so we've got a bigger input-output into our network. As you can see, I've got a few more crafters. I've got a crafter going into this emerald furnace and a load more recipes in both. So this will allow me to do crafting of the essential items in refined storage and flux networks, etc. I've also tidied this setup up a little bit. Basically, all of my sieves and auto hammers are going into one of two chests. So if I go into XNet, you'll see that we've got a filter for pieces will go into one chest and everything else goes into the other chest. And this is the higher priority, is the chest with pieces. And then I've just got some item pipes going from here into our compressor and then into a furnace and some importers here and here. This importer's got a stack upgrade. Stack upgrades, brilliant thing because otherwise you do one item at a time. And to get sugar, I got some beetroot seeds, as you can see in my botany pot here. 2 beetroot will give you 2 sugar. So if you haven't got sugar cane or anything else, then beetroot's an option as well. So let's get started on Mekanism. Right, the first thing I recall that I'm going to need, I think, is the Metallurgic Infuser. So let me just clear all this out because we don't think we need this anymore. Done. Right, so we want a Metallurgic Infuser. So if I go in here, what I'm missing is 2 furnaces. And we'll quickly grab that. I'm also going to get a flux point temporarily. I made a few up between episodes as well. I'm just going to stick this down in this area for the time being. So I want some slabs. One of the problems with using the builder, and I'm sure there's an easy way around it, I filled it all with slabs, but it put it lower rather than the upper slab, which is fine because it means no mobs can spawn. But it does mean that everything's going to be floating if I put it down. So let's grab some slabs. 10 will do, and some torches. I've got torches on me. I said this is just a rough setup so we can start playing around with Mekanism. So just make sure it doesn't look like anything spawnable on that. So let me just drop this down here and attach my flux point. Touch it on the side for the time being. And put that on our main network. And does that give me power? It is. So the first thing I think I need is steel. And to make steel, find the right one. There we are. Need steel dust, and to get steel dust we use a metallurgic infuser with some coal and enriched iron, and to get enriched iron it is any form of carbon, so coal will do, and an iron ingot. So let's grab a stack of coal. I've got loads of coal blocks as well. Let's just turn those into, so we get a couple of stacks of coal and a stack of iron, because I'd like a stack of steel. So if I drop a stack of coal in here, that will fill my carbon section. And then if I put my Metallurgic Infuser in, that will, it's currently using 20 FE per tick, so our network should be able to cope with it until I do this. And that will speed things up. If I look at my battery, I bet that's draining. No, it's actually not doing too badly. I'm quite impressed at that. So once we've got our steel, so we'll get this stack done, we'll then start getting on to the next machine. And as the sun's going down, I'm going to quickly sleep. So I think the next thing I want is the Energetic Infuser? Couple of reasons. Got myself turned around then. Number one reason is it will make our coal usage so much easier for when we sorry, not just coal, but anything that needs to be infused, so much better. So as you can see, that took me a stack of coal to do a stack of enriched iron. So we'll pop all that in and we'll do our steel dust. But if we use the Energetic Infuser, then that will mean I can get more out of a piece of coal. So that's the theory behind it anyway. While our power holds, we will get our steel. The other thing I'm obviously going to need is the mechanism cables. So we've got basic universal cables, which we can use for power. We've got mechanical cables, which I think are fluids. Yep, mechanical pipes. Logistics cables is, as you would guess, for moving items. And there is one for gas. I can't remember what it's called. Apparently that one will do heat. That's interesting. Yeah. There is one for gas as well, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it's called. Or is there? Maybe it's gone. I don't know. But we've got our steel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it into this furnace here. Speed things up a little. How much have we got? We've got 4 hours and 24 minutes. Right, so that should give me a load of steel. So let's do our infuser. Metallurgic. No, that's the one I've just done. What's the other one? Tell you what. If I wanted a enriched carbon, I would put enrichment chamber. That makes more sense. So we'll add that in there. So we're going to need a steel casing, which I can make. Nice and easy. And we're going to need some basic control circuits. And again, basic control circuits, redstone with some osmium. So we're going to need 2 of those, and it takes 20 millibuckets of redstone. So I'm guessing 1 piece of redstone will give us 2 millibuckets, 10 millibuckets. Let's find out. Take 4. That's not 4. And we'll take some osmium. And we'll pop that in, and that gives me 40. Yep, so I was right, it's 10 millibuckets each. And then we'll speed this up a bit. These machines are quite noisy, I have to say. And I know there is a muffler upgrade for these, so we'll probably use those. So we'll take our enrichment chamber, and then I want some basic universal cables. Because what we'll do is we'll take this flux point off. We'll pop cable here, cable there, and we'll pop our flux point on the end. Make sure it's still in the main network. And we'll take our enrichment chamber. And now, if I take a stack of coal, and remember last time when we were using carbon to make the steel, a stack gave us just enough carbon to do a stack of steel. If I put a single piece in here, that gives me an enriched carbon. So if I go in here, one piece of coal gives me 10 millibuckets of carbon. One enriched carbon gives me 80 millibuckets. So well worth doing. So let's go and get some more iron. No, I don't want that, I want that. If I'm sounding a bit croaky today, I do apologise. I'm recovering from a bit of a cold, so yeah. We'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let that do its thing. So the other advantage to the enrichment chamber, grab some fluic seeds and some fluic dust. Speed this up. Right, so I'm out of enriched carbon there, which is exactly what I expected. Yeah, so the advantage here is if I drop some fluic seeds in here, I can get pure fluix crystals. Except, obviously, I've got power issues here, but that's fine. And if I look at what I can use the pure fluix crystals for, I can turn that into silicon. Now, I'm not planning on going into applied energistics because I've gone with refined storage. So, being able to generate silicon from the surplus stuff, the fluix crystals and the certus and fluix dust, it's going to be quite advantageous. It means I don't have to use nether quartz for stuff like that. So that should be recharged now. So we'll let those carry on. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to go into Mekanism, because it gives us a bit more flexibility. So let's have a look at the quest book and go into tech. And we've got a quest for generating power, which we can go into the Mekanism branch. So there is the heat generator, which is weird because you put lava in it and you surround it by lava and it generates power from that. Wind generator is something I want to look at. Biogenerator also a very good one. And this will give us a power cube, which is probably a better option than the one we've got at the moment. So let's have a look at what's required for the wind generators. Alright, so we're going to need an infused alloy, basic control circuit, and some energy tablets. Energy tablets, relatively easy to make. So we'll be missing these. Infused alloy. And infused alloy is just iron and redstone. So if I take some redstone, these really are noisy. Let's take that out. We'll let that finish off. Meanwhile, I'm just going to drop this in here and turn it all into silicon. I think the other thing I want to do is make some tier upgrades, because these are brilliant. So if I get the basic tier installer, so I need some planks, which is relatively easy. Actually, it's not, because I don't have any. So let me get some trees. Yeah, I forgot I obviously used a significant amount of wood making this platform. And I haven't restarted it. We'll just do a bit of twerking. debris. Put that away. Put the sticks away. Put that away. Right, so fused alloy, so we should have enough redstone. Got our enriched iron, still got carbon, so I'm just going to dump that. Drop my redstone in. Grab a stack of iron. Let that do its thing. Yeah, let's go back to doing our tier upgrade. So, basic control circuits, we know that's for osmium. So I'm going to need at least, well, let's just do a stack of it. We'll just sleep through this night. What I'll do is I'm going to process up, I'm going to get a stack of control circuits and the enriched alloy, and when I come back we'll start looking at getting tier upgrades done. We'll look at getting our various the wind generators set up, because they're a good power source and we're up relatively high, so I just want to see how well they'll work, and then we'll see what else we can do with Mekanism. Okay, so I'm back. Got a stack of each, so I want probably a couple of these. We're going to want to build our wind generator, and we also want our tier upgrades. We want a couple of these. So what I can do now, so just pop my wind generator, say, down here. You can see this is generating 384 FE per tick, which is pretty impressive. Not gonna lie, pretty pleased at that. What we can do is we can just plug that in here, and that gives us additional power. So yeah, 384 FE per tick. That's not bad for just one thing, and it's a pretty simple setup, and obviously I can add additional ones in. And the other thing is with these tier upgrades, so at the moment you saw that I could do one item at a time, but if I whack a tier upgrade in, this becomes a basic infusing factory. I can now do 3 items at a time, and the same with the enrichment factory. So again, pretty good. The great thing about the enrichment factory is if I grab, say, some iron ore, in fact what we can do is if we just break this for the time being and just let that build up some stuff, because the enriching factory allows me to ore double. So if I take one piece of iron ore, that will turn it into 2 iron dust. So we've got ore doubling quite easily. So I want to enrich some carbon. So on 8, we're going to put auto sort on, drop that in, and that will split that between each of his things. So kind of almost tripled the amount of work I can do with one machine. And then what we'll be able to do is once this is finished, we will get the rest of our steel made up. So just drop that in here. So I've got 640 carbon, auto sort on, enriched iron, and let that do its thing. With the wind generator, that's going to make our lives a bit easier. And what I might do is Pick up some more basic universal cables and make up another wind generator. Do I need 2 of these? Now, I don't know, I guess there'll be a penalty if I'm too close. So if I pop one, say, here. And I'll use universal cable along. Again, 384 FE per tick. 384 FE per tick. So good power generation just from the wind there. Still quite noisy though. And if I speed this up to 8 times, hopefully we'll be able to get the power, keep the power going from our wind generators. There we go. Got a load of steel dust, which I can now pop into here for the time being. So the other one I want is a smelter. The Energized Smelter. So again, just need a steel casing for that. I'll drop that in there. You can go along here. Universal cable in the back. And a tier upgrade. Because again, whilst my emerald furnaces are good, if I can triple the work I'm doing, so whilst that's smelting one item at a time, if I take the steel dust and go, I could do 3 at a time. So we've got basics of a pretty good ore processing setup here. So what we'll probably do is we'll take our output here, we will input it into our enriching factory and then into our smelting factory to get ore doubling and smelting of stuff there. So I know we've got effectively unlimited resources, but I think, you know, there's no harm in doubling things up. We're going to obviously start using significantly more resources as we go on. Now, that noise is annoying me. So what do I need for the muffling upgrade? Some steel dust. Right. Let's get these muffled. So if I go into upgrades, drop this in. Yeah, it's muffled it a little. I wouldn't say it's been significantly muffled. I know in here we've got the muffler. So if I do mech, so I can muffle the wind generator. The Energized Smelter can be muffled. Yeah, I can just muffle them all here. I might pop them back on later, but at the moment it was actually hurting my ears, so. And we'll drop the steel in there. So what other Mekanism machines have we got? So Mekanism is a fantastic mod. There are so many different things we can do with it. I think what would be good is, there's a sawmill in here. The precision sawmill. Because I think we can start getting more wood, because obviously I'm going to start making more use of these platforms, and it is getting dark, so let me just go quickly sleep. Oop, lost again. Get ourselves a basic tier installer. And what we can now do is if I take that wood I had, I didn't use all of it, did I? Guessing I did. Yeah, I didn't. It's not wood I'm looking for, it's logs, that's why. Peace and quiet. So I'm getting significantly more oak planks. Also getting sawdust. So again, we're just optimizing the stuff we've got. So instead of getting 4, we're getting 6 out of that, which that's going to make life a bit more easier as well. So what else have we got that could be useful? Smelting factory we've done, enriching factory, crushing factory. Oh, the crushing factory, that could be good. So we're going to need some lava. That's not going to be too much of an issue, I hope. Steel casing. Couple of buckets. This is where I find it is an issue. Do I have any fluid pipes on me? Just attach that in here. And slowly but surely get some lava. Yeah, so this just obviously this episode's been a little bit of a just seeing what Mekanism can do. I think what I'll focus on in the next episode is getting Mekanism automated. So we'll get it tied into refined storage. I think what we'll do is, I know one of the great things on Mekanism is being able to not just ore double, but triple, quadruple, quintuple. So we can do some significant ore duplication, if you like, from that. We can then start using a lot of these tools for just making our lives a little bit easier. So what else have we got? I just want the basic machines. Purification chamber, I think we're definitely going to need. Smelter, crusher, we're just making. Combiner, not sure we'll need that. Osmium compressor, I think we'll be using in later stages. Chemical dissolution chamber, electrolytic separator, chemical injection chamber, I think they're all for ore doubling as well. Or dictionificator, not sure that's going to be useful to us. A formulaic assemblator, is that a crafter? A machine that uses energy to rapidly craft items and blocks from crafting formulas doubles as an advanced crafting bench. Might be worth giving that a shot. Just grab a bucket. I'll just wait for the second bucket to come through. And we'll get the crusher done. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the wooden generators because, you know, 300 Fe, 84 Fe per tick. And this setup here, I've got the reinforced integral components plus the auxiliary reaction chambers, and that's giving me 240 RF per tick. And then I'm guessing Fe and RF are both the same, as in they're 1-to-1. So if that's the case, then these are better already. I know I can't upgrade them, but I could easily have a wind farm sitting there and be all nice and green. So, crusher. Done. Basic tier upgrade. Done. thing is, these tier upgrades, we can go up the tiers if you like. So there's basic, advanced, elite, ultimate. That allows us to do a lot more things. So let's just take some saplings, and this can crush them into sawdust, I think. Oh no, biomass, which would be very useful for our biomass generator, which is another thing I want to go in, because we could potentially get self-sustaining biofuel. So that could be useful, because we put that in a where is it? Items into fuse. That gives me biomass. Biomass. Well, I thought there was a biogenerator. I'm sure there is a biogenerator. Yeah, biogenerator. It doesn't tell me how much power it does, so it might be something to play with. But yeah, a bit of an exploring mechanism episode today. Just playing around, seeing what we can do with it. Hopefully it was enjoyable. As I said, in the next episode, we'll get it all automated. We'll start doubling up on ore. We'll take this process here and just start squirting all of our ore into a at least a doubling pipeline to start off with, and expand it from there. I also want to tart the base up a bit, make it look a bit prettier. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If you'd like to see more episodes, then please feel free to subscribe. Until then, I wish you a very pleasant day. Goodbye.